Welcome back. You're watching The Full View on SABC News. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has today heard that the acting EMPD chief, that's the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department chief, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, has allegedly been participating, basically shown a blatant disregard, if you will, for his superior, the now suspended chief of police, Jabulani Isaac Mapiyeye, and allegedly advanced unlawful acts, basically alleged corruption, with CAT VIP Security Services. It's a private security company owned by the alleged cartel member Mpho Matlala. This as Mkhwanazi, who allegedly dished out blue lights to this company through a signed memorandum of understanding, formed part of central evidence at the commission, highlighting the alleged criminality within the EMPD. SABC News senior reporter Kenny Mapanga has more for you.
The Madlanga Commission has shifted its lens to the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department through its now suspended Chief of Police, Jabulani Isaac Mapiyeye, who alleges that his deputy, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, who is currently acting Chief of Police, had a blatant disregard for his authority.
Brigadier Mkhwanazi, with the support of the city manager, that is Dr. Mpho Matlala, has over the years brazenly disregarded my authority as the Chief of Police of EMPD. Julius, as a Deputy Chief, was always appointed to act as a Chief of Police whenever I'm absent or on leave. Meanwhile, there were other senior Deputy Chief of Police who could have been considered to act.
Mkhwanazi is no stranger to the commission, as his name emerged in allegations of officials who allegedly act in the interest of alleged criminal cartels. Mkhwanazi is accused of dishing out blue lights to the private security company of Mpho Matlala, conduct which has been flagged by Mapiyeye as unlawful, as Metro Police cannot intrude on the mandate of the South African Police Services.
By them mere wearing uniform, it does not mean that they can do anything which is against the law. You'll find officers conducting investigation into a property that is not in their mandate to go and do investigation. That is the function of SAPS.
In addition to the blue light saga, the commission heard that Mkhwanazi formerly roped in CAT VIP Security Services into crime-combating operations, which Mapiyeye dismissed as unlawful.
These are illegal activities, SC, in the sense that they do not have powers in effecting certain activities which are mentioned on top there,
and
including...
Go ahead, my apologies. Please continue. I apologize.
They do not have legislative powers to do some of the activities which are mentioned above.
Such as?
Such as
the
movement of criminals, tracking suspects,
yes,
and other resources we use when engaging, chasing, and arresting of these highly trained, skills, and repeat offenders that are not afraid to fight back with police when cornered.
The hearings continue. Kenny Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Well, let's talk further then about what came out of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Now bring into the conversation, joining us this evening, Dr. Mpho Matlala, security expert, as well as senior lecturer, at the Department of Police Practice with the University of South Africa. Very good evening to you, sir. Good to have you on the program. So today we were dealing with the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department. It has been brought up before in terms of this alleged broader criminal infrastructure that Mpho Matlala, were told, was able to establish with the help of the acting EMPD chief, allegedly. Okay, I'm told we've lost the guest. Pardon me, we'll try to go back to Dr. Mpho Matlala and bring him back into the conversation about what happened at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. I'm told you're back, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Fantastic.
you. Good evening. And good evening.
I was asking you then about the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department and how we're hearing today that its acting chief, Julius Mkhwanazi, played a role in the establishment or allowing this suspected criminal, Mpho Matlala, to get access for his private security company, to blue lights, interfering in what would have been SAPS work. And I wonder to what extent it adds then to what Madlanga Mkhwanazi, the KZN police commissioner, told us in July about how there's basically no part of the criminal justice infrastructure in this country that has been untouched by abuse of power and corruption.
Absolutely, Tembegile. It looks like every aspect of the criminal justice system has been captured, so to speak. If you look at the modus operandi of Julius Mkhwanazi, he was very systematic in doing things. Of course, in cahoots with the city manager, Dr. Mashazi, he managed to render the police chief, Mapiyeye, he placed him under administration and he became the de facto chief of the EMPD. And this would explain why he's also on suspension for such a long time, which is very strange, very suspicious, on suspension for over a year. And this would then tell us that the purpose of that capture, which I also suspect is in cahoots with political players within the Ekurhuleni municipality, then that would have then facilitated these networks of patronage that would include the Matlala security, the blue light saga, the hiring of more than 50, whether it's friends or jobs for comrades, the nepotistic type of approach. So by and large, Julius Mkhwanazi really has been dealing with the EMPD as sort of like his own spaza shop, where he calls the shot, makes up his own rules, and all governance protocols you can think of, he has reached them.
So in terms of Mapiyeye, for context, for people who may not be aware, he was suspended, I think it was late last year, in November last year, in fact, on charges of alleged sexual harassment. So that's why he was then out of the picture, and we're told, at least by his version, that's when Julius Mkhwanazi basically tightened his grip, if you will, on the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department. But when you look at what's going on at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and what's going on with the ad hoc committee in Parliament and the implicated parties who've appeared, if everyone who has been implicated professes themselves to be an angel, then why are we here if everyone claims they're innocent?
That is the nature of any inquiry into misconduct, corruption, any other criminality. It is an issue of those that are implicated saying it wasn't me. The first posture of any person who is alleged to have committed offenses is denial until we get to a point where now there is tangible evidence on the table, and we can say you can deny all you want, but here is the evidence. But the issue that maybe is a sort of, not really a hindrance, but sort of a long way around with these types of issues within the criminal justice system is more so because of the nature and the character, the posture that the ad hoc committee and the Madlanga Commission are taking. They are inquisitorial by nature. Had they been prosecutorial, when we should be talking with people sitting in jail, others on suspension, others dismissed, as we speak.
Which brings me to my next question about the weight of the evidence that's been presented so far. And I know we still have a long way to go in some of these processes, but do we have enough to work with at this stage to say for certain that we're able to separate the protagonists from the antagonists, or perhaps the villains in the story?
Look, obviously for the commission and for the parliamentary ad hoc committee to get to a point of making recommendations, the onus of proof or the burden of proof is not like in a criminal court case. The balance of, in a criminal court case, the burden of proof is beyond reasonable doubt, and within the commission and the ad hoc committee is on a balance of probabilities that will enable sufficient evidence to make recommendations. But what is important is that we are still at a stage where there are allegations have been made.
Right.
Evidence is beginning to trickle in, testimonies, but they have not been tested. I think the phase, especially with the Madlanga Commission, the second phase will be the cross-examination, whereas with the ad hoc committee is more like a seamless type of process. And I think when the ad hoc committee is finished with its witnesses, it will be able to make recommendations. But for the Madlanga Commission, it's still a long way to go.
A quick one then. We were also watching at the same time in Parliament the head of IDAC, the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, Advocate Andrea Johnson, appearing today. She's been asked, for example, about her participation in a panel that ultimately shortlisted and led to the hiring of her husband. She says when he was shortlisted, she recused herself from the process and was not involved in a shortlisting. Another issue that came up more pointedly is around IDAC allegedly being used in the waging of these factional battles among the most senior figures in the country's police service. Is that what happened? Was IDAC used and abused by the police bosses to take each other out, like, for example, we're told was the case with the charges brought against crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo a few months ago?
I think there is no smoke without fire. From today's evidence, what I'm taking away is that we now know that there is no love lost between General Khumalo and Mr. Johnson, the husband to the head of IDAC. And honestly speaking, I don't buy the story that we are strictly professional. We don't subject any matters to pillow talk. There is no love lost. It means
Dr. Matlala, it's really unfortunate, but your line is failing us. Unfortunately, let's let go of Dr. Matlala there. Apologies for that, because that line is simply not going to work. We've tried. Dr. Matlala is a security expert as well as senior lecturer in the Department of Police Practice at UNISA, University of South Africa.